Hi dear children, welcome to our next class. In last class you learned about different landforms like mountains, hills and the differences between them and what's the meaning of a valley. This all you learned. And in today's class you are going to learn about some more landforms, and you can see that in the picture a land is totally covered by the sand. So what we can call these type of landforms, you know this, when the land is covered by a large number of or a huge amount of sand, it's known as desert. So you are able to see the desert in the picture, and the vegetation, that means plants are very less in the desert areas. Can you guess why? Why? Because the deserts are very dry lands. Why they are so dry? Because there is no rainfall. Less rainfall is there in the deserts. When there is no rain, the land becomes dry and the plants cannot grow more. That's why the deserts are very dry lands. So you are going to learn more about the desert, plains and plateaus in this class. So what's the meaning of a plateau? What's the meaning of a plain? And what are deserts? How they are different from each other, you're going to learn in today's class. So before knowing the difference between these landforms, we'll do one small activity and try to understand what actually the plateau means and what actually a plain means, we will see. So here you take 4 books and arrange one above the other. These 4 books arrange one above the other, and now you can see how they appears. The flat top will come, that is only known as a plateau. A plateau is three books, some textbook which are heavier. You choose the books and arrange one above the other. How it looks like when you arrange that, I'll show you now. So the top of that books appears like a plateau, a top, flat top they will get it. So that's only known as a plateau. So wherever the land is raised like that with a flat top it is there, that's known as a plateau. Here the diagrams are there. Here like this, you can see in the diagram when the books are arranged one above the other. Heavy books one above the other, when you take, how they appeared their top with a flat surface, the upper part is appearing in such a way. So this is known as a plateau. So the plateau is a raised part. It is raised above the land, and flat top they are having. They are having flat top end part. Their top is flat in shape. Here you can see the real plateau. Understood children what a plateau means? And plain is this one where the land is not raised and it is flat in shape. That is a plain. So the plain is different from a plateau. Plateau is raised part and plain is without any raise, the land known as flat land known as a plain. Got it? Now You take a white paper, fold it into three parts, and one part you color, make a differentiation between three parts by drawing with a pencil, and 1 by 4th part you color with green, and another part with brown, and the last part you leave like that without coloring anything. Now you can see this colored part is like a plane. So it is not raisin part. It is flat, covered with n number of trees. Whereas the brown color part, this is also not raisin part, on the land but covered with sand. That's why you draw brown color for this. This is a hot desert. Deserts are of two types, hot desert, cold desert. So, cold desert is covered by snow, whereas hot desert is covered by sand. But both are dry. Both are dry land because there is no plenty of rain, so that we cannot even see more vegetation. More plants also cannot grow there. Whereas in the plains, lot of greenery is there and a number of plants can grow there. So by this, I think you understood the difference between a plateau, plain and the deserts. And how many types of desert we had seen? We saw two different types of deserts now, hot deserts and the cold deserts. Hot deserts covered by the sand, whereas cold deserts covered by the snow. So here you are learning the same new words. You see the spellings. Desert means covered by sand, a land covered by the sand. Plateau, plateau means a raisin land which have flattened top. Flat top, just I showed you in the picture. Plain means a land, a big area of flat land, a flat land known as a plain. Fertile means land that is fit for growing crops called as fertile. So plain is a fertile land. That's why many plants can grow there. Where the fertile means which the place which is suitable for growing crops. So, understood children the differences between plateau, plain, and deserts? So, once you watch this video, you'll understand more about these landforms.
Have you ever wondered how plateaus, deserts, and plains are different? Plateaus are raised, flat-topped landforms. Plains are flat and grassy. Deserts are dry lands with very few plants. Deserts can be hot or cold.
Understood? So, now once we will see, imagine that the books and the brown, green, and white parts of the paper are four different types of landforms. If you ride over these landforms in a hot air balloon, how will they look when you are moving above these landforms in the hot air balloon? How do you feel? When you go near the desert area, you feel very hot. When you are flying and above the cold desert, you feel too cool. When you fly above the plains, you feel so happy, right? The pile of books is like a plateau. A plateau is raisined part. A plain is flat part. This all we discussed just now. How are plateaus, plains, and hot and cold deserts different? Just now we had seen. And hot deserts are covered with snow. So the total landforms can be divided like this. This is very important. The whole lesson is coming in this flow chart. So the landforms are divided into three types. They are plateaus, plains, and the deserts. Deserts again two types, hot deserts, cold deserts. Then the whole lesson you can understand by watching this flow chart. Now, why do you think deserts are dry and without plants? Because there is no rainfall. When there is no rainfall in any area, that's definitely will be dry. So when there is no rain, no plants will be in that area. Yes, na? So now shall we see the questions which are given in this worksheet? What questions actually given in this worksheet we'll see now. So here look at the pictures. Which landforms do they show? Write one feature of each. So you have to identify the landform. So the name the landforms. The first one is it was raised. Flat top is there. So definitely it is a plateau. And the second one is it's a plain, flat land. That's why it is a plain. And the third one, covered by the sand. So it is the desert. And one future you had to write, children, about plateau and the plain and the desert. Plateau is raised, raised flat top. With flat top, raised part is plateau. And plains are flatlands. Plains are called flatlands. They are flat in shape, very fertile, and can grow many plants. And the deserts are covered with sand. Deserts are covered with sand. They may be hot or cold deserts. Okay? Now write any one difference and one similarity between a hot and a cold desert. Just now I told you a hot desert is covered with sand, whereas cold desert is covered with snow. This is one difference. Hot deserts covered with sand, cold deserts covered with snow. And what's the similarity? Whatever the desert it may be, they are in dry conditions. They are dry and without plants. You cannot see the plants more, less plants. They are very dry and no plants. In both the areas, land is very dry and plants cannot be seen more. This is the similarity between the hot desert and the cold desert. Now the next one, why do hot deserts have very few plants? Very few plants, why the hot deserts are having? Why? Because there is no rainfall. There is no rainfall. When there is no rainfall, definitely the areas become the hot deserts. So they have few plants. They have very few plants. Why? Because there are no rains or there is less rainfall. You can even write there is less rainfall, so they have few plants. You can write there is less rainfall. There is less rainfall, that's why very few plants will grow there. Understood, children? So after completing this, page number 23, content book question, practice, volume book questions, then read this lesson clearly from your content book and try to write the practice questions. So complete this practice questions. Before moving on to the practice questions, nicely you read the content what is given. So the first one is fill in the blank. A dash is raised like a table. A plateau, plain, desert. You know very well that's the plateau. A dash can be hot and covered with sand or cold. Just now we discussed it's a desert. Dash is a flat and is fertile for growing crops. That is a plain. Now write any two differences between plateaus and plains. Plateaus are raisin parts, plains are flat parts. Plateaus are having top flattened, plains are already flatlands. Plains are fertile, like that you can differentiate between plateaus and plains. If you visit a desert, will you see many plants? Why? We cannot see many plants in the desert areas because the rainfall is less in deserts, so we cannot see more plants in deserts. Understood, children? So complete this practice questions and the workbook questions nicely and be ready for next class. Thank you.